How livable would Parkour Reborn be if it was a real city? Well, if you look at it directly, you would say no, that's impossible. But before we get into any conclusions, you have to remember that Parkour Reborn has interiors. For example, this one right here. So to actually live in it, you would need a couple of things. A living space, a job, entertainment, water, and food. And that's basically about it. But let's take a look at the living spaces. So what I'm gonna count as a living space is somewhere where you have to sleep. For example, right here, don't mind the broken window though. There's a TV, some couches, and you could sleep here. So overall for living spaces, I would count this as you could live here. And there's multiple of these around the map, except I'm not gonna show all of them. But yeah, there you go. The first living space is this one. Alright, but now let's go to jobs. In the Derwick suburbs right here, there's a particular building that has a couple of job spaces. And it's this building right here. Let me just get to them really quick. And there we go. Now for a job, this place is a hell of a maze, and I would not do this daily, but there's a couple of office spaces here, but these three don't have PCs, but these three do. 1 PC, 2 PCs, oh wait no, 3 PCs, 4, 5, 6, and yeah, only 6 PCs. But there's probably more of these office spaces around the map. I'm just not gonna go looking for them. But speaking of jobs, you already have a job. Deliveries. Julian told you to get that phone, and now he messages you right here to do deliveries. Yeah, you maybe didn't think about that, but technically we have enough to live off of jobs now. And you earn actual credits off of it. Now, entertainment is a pretty easy one. Alright, there we go. For example, right here, we have a TV and another living place. So I guess that counts as that too. And there's a lot of these around the map, except again, I'm not gonna find all of them again. And there's radios in all 3 districts, so you don't only have entertainment via TV, you also have entertainment via music. Now the next one is water, and this one's the easiest one of all. They're literally down here, swag. And I'm not sure what the liquid would be, maybe an energy drink, maybe a soda, but I sure hope it's water. However, it's probably something out of Mirror's Edge that I don't know about. And now food. I've searched around the map for so long and I still have not found any food on the entire map. Or well, the parts that I searched. And trust me, I searched a lot. I do want to count something as a food item though. Bro, look at these two. Now, what the fuck? Yeah. In Fragment on the laced up checkpoint, if you go down here, there's a couple of these boxes, and there's boxes in Vertigo too. I would argue that these boxes have stuff like electronics or furniture, and maybe even food. But if it isn't food in them, then there's literally no food on the map anywhere. Okay, I'm editing right now and I just remembered the cheese wedge near Apollo, so technically that counts, but that's not enough for like 30-45 people the map can hold. But I don't know anything else, so tell me in the comments what I've missed if you want to. Don't even think about the pigeon on that one tower, and don't even think about Gish, bro. Before the conclusion though, some side details about the city. You would spend most of your time on the rooftops as there are no doors on the road, hell there isn't even a road, that lead to inside of a building, so you would have to spend your time on the rooftops. And every time you wanted to get somewhere, you would either open a door, open a vent, drop down a ladder, or break f***ing glass with your own head. Not to mention the tons of vandalism all over the city. And it's unavoidable, you will definitely see a graffiti in your first 5 minutes of playing. Or well, technically living if we're counting like that now. Also, who is littering literally everywhere? Like technically we have 2 jobs now, because we deliver packages for money, and we pick up trash and sell it for money. I mean, there's dumpsters for a reason, man. And that's almost all that there is. So what's the final conclusion? Well, because there may not be food on the map, but we could argue that there is, I'll be looking at the map as no food anywhere. You could survive for a week or maybe even more, but eventually you would die here. But if you brought food from the real world to here, how long you would survive depends on the amount of food you brought. Overall, if it had food, it would be a nice place to live. Pretty peaceful as long as nobody drop kicks you off an edge. That's about it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.